Hello, everyone. Today is June 9th. It's currently 9:32. This is a pre-recorded live. I was going to go live, but StreamYard has been giving me issues. So I'm going to be doing a pre-recorded live tonight. We do have a live set for the 10th. We're going to talk about Maddie Soto again, except we're going to deep dive into Stephen Stearns, who is Jennifer Soto's boyfriend. So I know a lot of us know the Madeline Soto case and some of us don't. So we're going to start from the way beginning for those who don't. I want to thank everyone who's watching my replay. Like I said, this is a pre-recorded live. Couldn't go live. You know how StreamYard is. It's always giving me a problem. It gives everyone a problem. But, yeah, I was going to go live yesterday, but I had a family emergency, so I didn't get to go live. But tonight I'm going to do a pre-recorded live, and it's going to be uploaded tonight as well. Thank you all so much for watching the replay. Excuse me. So let's get into it. If I'm talking low, it's because I'm getting allergies. So let's get into it. And before I start, my disclaimer is everything that I say is all alleged in my opinion. It's for educational purposes only. I get my sources from trusted resources and from trusted sources. I am not responsible for anyone else's actions, concerns, thoughts, what they say, anything. So yeah, let's get started on what happened to Maddie Soto back in February of 2024. Now, Maddie Soto case is one of the biggest case that happened last year back in February of 2024, like I said. So I do want to give a huge shout out to Crime Timelines. They have like the best They have like the best information on any cases that you need. Well, it's not any cases, but on some cases that you need. So if you are wanting to check it out, Crime Timelines is the best website. I have it linked in my Discord in case you guys want to go look at it. So let's talk about, who is Maddie Soto and what happened to Maddie Soto. So Maddie Soto at the time, she was a 13-year-old girl who lived with her mother, Jennifer Soto, and her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns. They lived out in Osceola County in Florida. Maddie was reported missing by her mom on February 26th of 2024 around 4 p.m. after her mom, Jennifer, went to go pick her up from school and found out that she was not there. 2 days later, on February 28, 2024, an arrest warrant was issued for Stephen Stearns. Stephen Stearns is the boyfriend, the then boyfriend, I don't think they're together now, allegedly, to Jennifer Soto. Jennifer Soto is Maddie's mom. So Stephen Stearns was arrested. He had charges of actual battery and possession of child porn. He was later charged with a total of 60 crimes related to Maddie's case. So Maddie went missing on February 26th of 2024. 2 days later, after the police interviewed Jennifer Soto and Stephen Stearns, they ended up arresting Stephen Stearns because they had found some disturbing things on Stephen Stearns' phone, which included child porn and many other things. He had been abusing Maddie underneath Jennifer's nose. Now, if you're new to this case, you're probably like, oh my God, he was doing this under her nose. I bet you Jennifer didn't know. But all of us who know this case, we all know how Jennifer Soto is. And we are going to do a live dedicated to Jennifer Soto as well. So let's do the timeline, and then we're going to watch some videos. So February 26th of 2024 at 7:35 a.m., surveillance footage shows Stephen Stearns was discarding some items in the trash can. Mind you, this is the same day that Madeline Soto went missing. Okay. So 7:50 a.m., to about 8:31, Stephen Stern's car is seen leaving and returning to the apartment complex several times with Maddie's body visible inside. So on that day, there was a lot of speculations of, did Maddie really go to school? Because allegedly there was, from what they said back then, there was security footage of what they thought was Madeline Soto walking to school and what they thought was Stephen Stearns dropping her off. It's unclear. I don't remember. I have to look back at it if they debunked it and said it wasn't her. Clearly it wasn't her. Maddie's lifeless body was sitting passenger seat in Stephen Stearns' car. So yes, Stephen Stearns did unalive Madeline Soto. We're going to watch a couple of videos because you're probably like, whoa, this is too much for me, all in like 6 minutes. But we're going to go over this timeline and I'm going to show you some videos to make it make sense for my newcomers. So about 9 a.m., Jennifer says that she woke up. 9:30 a.m., Jennifer left the residence to go to an appointment to have blood drawn. She didn't see Stephen before she left. At 4:30 p.m., Jen Soto arrives at Hunters Creek Middle School to pick up Maddie, but discovers she never made it to school. At 8 p.m., Maddie is reported missing. Stearns claims he dropped her off near the school, but her phone was left at home. So the next day, which is February 27th, the Orange County Sheriff issues a public alert regarding Maddie's disappearance. The Orange County Sheriff's Office Forensic Unit recovered Madeline Soto's backpack and her school-issue laptop in a dumpster. So literally the next day, they put out an alert for Maddie's disappearance. PD went to go check out the whole apartment complex. It's kind of like it's not an apartment. It's more like a condo-ish, like kind of like those beach houses areas in Florida. Excuse me. Checked it out. They found in the trash can that Maddie's backpack and her school laptop was in the trash can. Now, keep in mind that the day prior, at around 7:15 to 8:31, Stearns' car was seen leaving and returning to the apartment complex several times with Maddie's body visible. Keep that in mind. Then on February 28th, a large-scale search for Maddie is conducted, but no trace is found. Orange County PD recovered Madeline Soto's backpack and her school-issue laptop in a dumpster. Stephen Stearns is arrested as the prime suspect, facing charges of actual battery and possession of child porn materials after incriminating images are discovered on his phone. So he had all these disturbing images and videos in his phone. So let's take a look at the very first interview that Jennifer Soto did. We're not going to watch all of it because I might get copyright. So let me mute myself.
Well, and tell us what's going on with Maddie.
Well, Monday morning, we took her to school. We dropped her off close to school, across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school. She crossed the street and walked to school, what we thought walked to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school drove away at that point. It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few minutes and then.
So I want you to keep in mind and pay attention to what Jennifer Soto is saying, and pay attention to Jennifer Soto and Stephen Stearns' body language, because when we do the individual lives regarding Stephen and Jennifer, this is going to take play, the body language of them.
Then got up and walked towards the school. But she never made it that walk and that was around 9 a.m. when she got up. She never made it to school after that. It's right next to the school. I don't know why she didn't make it. I don't know if something happened on her walk along the way or if she got taken, but she never made it.
And that was the last anyone's seen of her or heard from her?
Yes. I went to pick her up after school, and she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking she took a walk. Maybe she decided to walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well. Drove around and I didn't see anything. I drove back to the school. The school was closed. I emailed one of her teachers. They confirmed that she was absent all day. At that point is when I called 911 because I realized something was truly wrong.
Have you heard from like any of her friends? Has she been active on any social media?
She hasn't been active on social media, none of her chats, none of her games. We did contact all her friends. None of them had seen her Monday or heard from her. Yeah, there's no update.
And I have to ask this, and I know I hate doing it, but is she the type that would run away? Has this happened in the past or anything? Has she ever threatened to run away?
Never. She's never ever mentioned anything like this before, and she's not the type to want to do this. She did accidentally leave her phone on Monday, which is kind of normal for her. She's got ADHD and very forgetful. So she left her phone at home, so there's no way to trace her.
So Maddie was a 13-year-old girl. Jennifer Soto said she would leave her phone at home. She's a preteen. I was a preteen not too many years ago. Usually we don't, as they say, usually preteens do not leave their phones at home. Jennifer Soto said that she allegedly suffered from ADHD and bad anxiety. So please keep that in mind, because when we do these lives dedicated to Jennifer and Stefan, you're going to see some things that I'm be like, wait, what? But we do have to take a commentary because I will get copyrighted for just playing these videos straight through. So let's look at the images that was found in the trash can, the dumpster. Now remember, police did find Maddie Soto's belongings the day after or 2 days after she was reported missing. So these are some of the images that they have found. This is, I don't know if it'll let me. Okay, yeah, this is her backpack. We're going to just take a look at these images. Does it not? There it goes. So these are Maddie's belongings, like I said, that they found in the trash. Some of it is redacted. I don't get why there's paint. See how, like, is it paint or is it like concrete? I know Maddie's a girl. You know, us girls, we don't like mess. I wouldn't think Maddie would put paint or concrete in her backpack. You see how, like, all her stuff is covered in it? And of course, this is, what is this? These are, I think, items from her room. What is that, like an inhaler? See how, like, all her stuff is covered in this mystery gunk. Now you're probably wondering, if you're new, like, oh my god, like, if Stefan Stearns was abusing Maddie, did he have a history? He did. He had a history of doing some inappropriate things to his roommates. I do have all that information. Like I said, we will have a live dedicated to Stephen Stearns soon. It's an inhaler, yeah. See, like how her bag is all covered in this? So now this is a note that they found in Maddie's composition journal. So from my understanding, what she scratched out was my illness and condition limit my availability toward my affection, or by affecting my memory. Number 5, my fluctuating moods, anxiety, and trauma-related symptoms. They scribbled that out. Affect my memory, concentration, focus, and energy levels. I also have a severe trauma response when I encounter all males. And she scratched that out. Now, like I said, when this case happened, these images were not available. They started becoming available later on as the case went by. Some allegations, speculations think that Maddie never wrote this. They think Jennifer Soto wrote this. Like I said, it's a lot of speculations and things that people were saying when these images came out. Now that these images are out, I'm showing you a timeline and everything so it can all fit. It was hard for us when this case first came out because we didn't have these images. We didn't have a lot of these things. We didn't have the body cam footages that came out. We didn't have the interviews that came out. Now that they're all out, it's better now when we talk about the case because it's going to show you the whole timeline and everything that happened. So it was her composition notebook. This is her crock. I believe this is how they found her items in a trash bag covered in what I think is paint or could be concrete. There's her shoe. And there's her school laptop. Like I said, when these images came out, they came out many months later. Okay, let's go back. We're actually, if you want to see the full Jennifer Soto interview, I will play more of this when we talk about Jennifer Soto, just because I don't want to get copyright strike. But I am going to show you the body cam footage of that night that Madeline Soto had went missing. One of them. There's another one.
$9 a month. Get our hottest prices of the year at Toyota of Orlando, I-4 near Millennium Mall, and Toyota of Claremont on Highway 50.
We are getting a new look at body camera video showing Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto both being questioned by deputies the day after they reported Maddie Soto missing.
We know now Stearns accused of sexually abusing and killing the 13-year-old last year. And let's join Amanda McKenzie going to break some of this video down. And Amanda, there are a lot of questions. The demeanor, he's very calm in that. Looking back, we look at a lot of these different details now this morning.
That's right. And this is body-worn camera video that we are now getting a look at when they interview both Stephen Stearns and Maddie's mom, Jennifer Soto, at their front door. And Stephen Stearns appears to be very calm, which could be interpreted as unusual behavior for a guardian of a 13-year-old after she's been reported missing. And the parents allegedly have no idea where she could be. Now, in this video, take a look. You can see that Maddie's mom, Jennifer, is describing the day's events to Kissimmee police. Stearns, very calm and relaxed, similar to the way he was acting when Fox 35 first interviewed him shortly after Maddie was reported missing. While at their front door, police asked about any recent arguments. Jennifer said Maddie sent a few messages to a friend stating that she wanted to run away to the woods. But when the officer asked to see those texts, Jennifer couldn't find anything about running away. Then about 20 minutes later, Stearns takes the officer to the family cars for them to have a look around.
And the silver Lincoln is mine. Well, it's actually my parents, but I'm driving their car right now. It's in better condition.
This is the one that she said she doesn't like to ride in?
Yeah, this is the one she was embarrassed to get dropped off in. So
Okay.
I was that age. I understood.
I got you.
Forgive the donut there. I got a flat tire earlier this
That's
afternoon.
fine. You might want to put some and cover the firearm in there. Someone will steal that, man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I stuck it there when I was changing the tire.
We now know from investigators that at the time this video was recorded that Maddie was already dead. Stearns is still in the Osceola County Jail, and his next court date concerning the sexual battery case is scheduled for April 23rd.
So I wasn't even talking. So this body cam footage happened the day after Maddie Soto was reported missing by Jennifer Soto. Please keep in mind, when this case came out, like I said, we never saw this body cam footage until many months later. So this literally happened the day after they reported her missing. So keep that in mind. We're gonna see an interview. Let's go to, because I do have to do commentary in the middle of this, because like I said, I will get copyright strike. Okay, so let's go back to the timeline. So February 29th, 2024, 3 days after Maddie was reported, or 3 days after Maddie went missing. But before we talk about that, keep in mind how Jennifer Soto said that Maddie wanted to run away into the woods. And when police asked her, okay, can we see proof? She couldn't bring up those texts because she, from what I think they said, she couldn't remember. So in the press conference, we're going to talk about that press conference as well during Stephen Stern's live. In the press conference, they said that allegedly Maddie said when she turned 13 years old, because mind you, days prior to when she went missing, she had a 13th birthday. Allegedly, she said that when she turned 13 years old, she was going to run away and hide in the woods forever. It was speculation because we never really got the concrete proof that Madeline Soto said that. I think, in my opinion, they went based off what Jennifer Soto had said. If they had the proof where she said that, then yes. I don't remember if if the police said they had text messages or something, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Maddie. I would think it's probably someone else, because what 13-year-old kid would want to run away into the woods when they turn 13? That's a red flag that something is going on at home or something's going on with the child. From what reports have said from friends and family, was Maddie was a sweet little girl. Despite the abuse she was going through behind closed doors from her mom's boyfriend. Now you're probably wondering, what did Jennifer Soto think about this abuse? When we do Jennifer Soto's live, you are in for a treat. Trust me. If you know about the Maddie Soto case, you know about big four-eyed Jennifer Soto. And if you're new to this case, buckle up, because it's going to get very, very, very interesting. So February 29th, 2024, at approximately 2:45 p.m., the Criminal Investigation Division requested the response of the forensic unit to a residence in reference to a actual battery. So mind you, the day before this, they arrested Stephen Stearns. They went through Stephen Stearns' phone. Keep in mind, I didn't show you this, but when we talk about Stephen Stearns, they asked Stephen Stearns, can we see your phone? Stephen Stearns told PD that he accidentally did a factory reset on his phone. The cops were kind of alarmed about that. You cannot factory reset your phone and not think that the PD, the police department, FBI, whoever it is, will not get the items you were trying to hide. Now, they did recover images, videos, and much more of Stephen Stearns abusing Maddie. Now, keep in mind, I believe allegedly he had been abusing her since she was, I don't remember if she was 7 or 8, but when he was in the picture, when he first started dating Jennifer Soto, I think it was when he first started dating Jennifer Soto, that's when the abuse started. She was very young. I believe it was, allegedly, I think it was either 7 or 8. I have it in my notes somewhere. I have to find it, but I will confirm that with you guys on the next live. But yeah, he told BD he brought factory reset the phone. You know, PD doesn't care. They're going to get what they want. And they got in. They found out that he had been abusing Maddie, and there was nasty, disgusting videos of him doing horrible acts to Maddie Soto. Now, at the time, PD was thinking, okay, Maddie's somewhere out there. He has Maddie hidden something, and there was the speculation of, okay, Maddie somewhere, he dumped her body, he killed her. They were thinking that, you know, allegedly he killed her. They need to find Maddie Soto. And we're going to talk about the sleeping arrangements in the room as well when we get to Jennifer Soto and Stephen Stern's lives. Like I said, this case was one of the nation's biggest case ever. And Stephen Stearns was charged with 60 counts of just a lot of counts. And I have all that in his file in my Discord. Evidentiary value were observed throughout the residence and collected. Photographs of the residence were taken utilizing a camera. The scene was digitally recorded through 2 video recordings. 7 final sketches of the residence were completed utilizing some software. So let's talk about Maddie's room. So Maddie Soto, she didn't have a normal bedroom as you would think a teenage girl would have. According to police, instead, she slept in a makeshift space on the first floor, set up in the living room. A partition separated this area from the kitchen, and that's where her bed was placed, adorned with a dinosaur blanket and a purple comforter. So, like, we hadn't seen these photos when the case had happened. We seen it, like I said, many months later. So this is Maddie's makeshift room, literally in the freaking kitchen. Was it kitchen or dining room, they said? So this is Maddie's little area. She didn't even have a room. She had like all her stuff is there. You would think if, in Jennifer Soto's eyes, you would think you would give your daughter her own space, her own room. That you're probably wondering at right now, like, why does she just have that little corner? Why didn't she have her own room? What was Jennifer Soto thinking? Keep those questions in mind when we start. You see how there's men's drawers in her hamper? You would think if Jennifer Soto was a concerned mother, this would be red flag number 1. Why is your boyfriend's boxers in your daughter's dirty hamper where she throws her clothes? Why is it in there? You would think, you would start to question, would you not? If you're a normal mother, you would question. If you're Jennifer Soto, I think you would play the blind mice, because that's what Jennifer Soto did in this case. See, she has my mom would question. So it's just right, like, it's there in the open. Like, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. If you guys want to read that. So it says, organizing room. I think it says take out garbage, laundry and hamper, put clean laundry away, make bed, put toys in box. So her nighttime chores, make something is organized. Number 2 is charge your laptop. 3, pick up laundry from bathroom. 4, hang towels to dry. And then I think that says okay Pookie, if I'm not mistaken. Or Bookie, I don't know. The fact that this was just out in the open. Are you freaking kidding me? So on February 29th of 2024, the arrest affidavit for Stearns is released, revealing inconsistencies in his stories and evidence that his phone underwent a factory reset. I do have Stephen Stearns' affidavits. When we do his live, we will read literally all the affidavits regarding Stephen Stearns. But now I do want to show you the interview of Maddie's aunt, which is Jennifer Soto's sister, when she went missing.
About 20 minutes until the sun's going to set, and dozens of volunteers are still out there looking for 13-year-old Madeline Soto. They've been out there all day in a wooded area near Hunters Creek in Orange County. Good evening. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Lou Ann Sorrell. Deputies have officially called off their search for the day. Fox 35's Caroline Coles is joining us live tonight. So, Caroline, the girl's family is just terrified that she could be in danger.
Yeah, just like any family would be. They're nervous, they're scared, they're worried. They just are hoping and praying that they find her safe and, most importantly, alive.
I really don't think she would have ever done anything like that. To just pick up and run away with no trace of anything.
50 hours and counting. That's how long it's been since 13-year-old Madeline Soto was reported missing. On Wednesday, family, friends, and dozens of deputies searched several areas around Orange County. And still, no sign of the teenager.
I'm trying to believe that she is still alive out there.
Maddie was last seen Monday morning after being dropped off near her school by her mother's boyfriend. But after drop-off, Maddie never made it to school. Maddie's mother telling us surveillance video shows Maddie hanging out in a church parking lot on Monday morning after being dropped off for school, but she never made it inside.
I don't know if she's somewhere safe that I have high.
Now, keep in mind where she said that Jennifer Soto allegedly saw a video from the church where Maddie was seen hanging out and walked, but never made it to school. It's all alleged. It's all like speculation. We never saw that body cam, but from what the PD allegedly said that was not Maddie. But it went back and forth because back then when this case happened, it was speculation that her, the aunt of Maddie, was the one who saw it and reported it to Jen, and then Jen went with that story. To this day, we are not sure if they really did or who saw that. From my knowledge, I think we all don't know if she saw it or Jennifer saw it. I haven't seen that footage either as well. But truth be told, it was not Maddie. Maddie was unalive in Stephen Stearns' car that day on February 26th.
High doubts.
Why do you say that?
Just because of the world we live in right now, everything's really crazy.
Sheriff's deputies are using canines and a piece of Maddie's clothing to try to track her scent in the Hunters Creek area. And just like the family, the Orange County Sheriff's Office is also concerned for Maddie's safety, especially after finding troubling messages on Maddie's phone.
There is information on the phone that indicated that she told people when she turned 13, which was on February 22nd, she actually wanted to go live in the woods.
Sheriff Mina says they have collected.
And that is what I was telling you guys about. We are still unsure At that time, we were unsure if it was really Maddie who said that. There was a lot of speculations that people thought Jennifer Soto wrote it or Stephen Stearns had did it. But once we get deeper into this case, remember this part, the turning 13 going into the woods area.
Video from where she went missing and will continue to extensively look for Maddie until they locate her.
We're worried about where she is and what, I mean, God forbid, but what's happening to her, if anyone has her, if anything like that. It's gotten to a point where we're hoping that she is with someone that she knows.
Now, the family, of course, watched that press conference that we saw earlier from Sheriff Mina, and they text me saying, look, we hear what the sheriff is saying, but we want to let it be known and clear that Maddie would never, ever run away. So that's what they're putting out there. And again, they're hoping and praying that she returns home safely. Reporting live here in Orlando, I'm Caroline Coles, Fox 35 News. Caroline.
So I do have the 2-hour interrogation of Stephen Stearns. This was, I think a day after. So I cannot play it. Well, I do want to play it, but I'm going to get copyright. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. But if you want to watch this is on my Discord. If you want to watch it tonight, we will watch half of this when we go live on the 10th. What is it like? Today's Thursday? On Thursday? Yeah, Thursday we're going to watch half of this. So this interview was conducted on February 28th. So 2 days after they reported Maddie missing, the day Stephen Stearns initially got arrested. So just a brief summary. Detectives talked with Stephen Stearns for hours in the moments after Madeline Soto was reported missing and after he was detained and arrested. New video shows a 2-hour interrogation of Stearns related to Maddie's disappearance. Maddie Soto's body was found March 1st, 5 days after she was reported missing. Stearns is charged in her death and disappearance. So Maddie went missing February 26th. A few days later, March 1st, they end up finding Madeline Soto's deceased body. Like I said, February 26th, Stephen Stearns was riding around with Maddie's lifeless body in the passenger seat. At the time, we didn't know that until a few days later when they ended up telling us that she was sitting passenger in the seat, lifeless. When I read you guys the affidavit, it'll say it on there. So let's do a little backstory. So Madeline Soto was reported missing on February 26, 2024, after her mom went to pick her up from Hunter Creek Middle School and found out she wasn't at school that day. Stephen Stearns said he dropped her off, which we all know he didn't, at school that day. Soto's body was found on March 1st in a wooded area in Osceola County 5 days after she was reported missing. Now, keep in mind, when they were searching for Maddie, Stephen Stearns actually, from what I remember, he actually got a flat tire a few miles up from where Maddie's body was, and an eyewitness had saw him. I guess, I don't remember allegedly if they talked to him or something, but when PD was like, we're asking the public for help if you've seen this car, because they did put an alert out on Stephen Stearns' car. A witness did come out and say, you know what, hey, I saw that car here in this wooded area. Come to find out, they searched that area and there was Maddie's body. I remember something like that. I do have it. It's in my notes on this. I think it's on Discord in my notes. But that's what eventually led PD to Maddie Soto's body. Documents state that Maddie unfortunately was unalived by strangulation, Stearns is charged with first-degree murder and 60 plus counts of actual abuse in Maddie's unaliving. So we will get to this sleeping arrangement when we do Stephen Stearns live and Jennifer Soto. We're going to keep coming to these sleeping arrangements and many, many, many more. Now, keep in mind, we read the other day in one of my lives that the sheriff in Osceola County had leaked a video, not a video, but a photo of Maddie's deceased body on Instagram. He quickly deleted it after. Like I said, these people ended up getting that image and ended up posting it all over Reddit. To this day, you can still find that picture on Reddit. It's sad how they did that to Maddie. Show some respect. There was another person who took a picture, a selfie, sort of, with Stephen Stearns behind her, and Stephen Stearns was in a jumpsuit with handcuffs. I don't remember if she got terminated or not. I will find that picture, the selfie of that she took, so you guys can see it. Out of respect to Maddie Soto and the family, I am not going to show you guys that leaked photo that the sheriff posted. That's just wrong. That's just disrespectful how the sheriff can say he, quote unquote, accidentally posted it on Instagram. No, you don't accidentally post that on Instagram. You don't. So let's look at these photos from the crime scene. And no, it's not going to show Maddie's body there. It's just going to show the area of the crime scene. Oh. So on March 1st, 2024, Sheriff John Mina announced the investigators believe Madeline is deceased and was likely killed at her home before Stearns moved her body. Fast forward to now, yes, that was true. Video evidence shows Stearns disposing of items in a dumpster. Madeline's backpack and a laptop were recovered. Madeline's body is found in a wooded area, and a vigil is held in her memory. The next day after her body was found, Stearns waives his first court appearance, and the judge denies the bail. The Osceola Sheriff County Office accidentally posted a confidential crime scene photo on social media. You don't accidentally do that. So March 1st, 2024, Maddie Soto's body is recovered in a wooded area near Hickory Tree Road in St. Cloud. A few hours after officials said this evidence made them confident Maddie was unalive, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office said they received a tip from someone who they said potentially saw involvement in the case. Like I said, Stephen Stearns had got a flat tire a few miles up from that wooded area. Someone saw him when they were doing a be on the lookout for that car. Someone called the sheriff's office, said, hey, I saw this car around this area. Searched the area, boom, they found Maddie's deceased body. So let's look at these crime photos. It's not going to show Maddie. It's just going to show the area around it. I have a feeling that if this person never saw Stephen Stearns there, in my opinion, I believe we never would have, the police would have never recovered Maddie's body. So if you live near the Hickory Tree Road Hickory Tree Road area in St. Cloud over in Florida. You can pass by here, and there is a memorial set up for Maddie there. Now, you guys are probably wondering, well, where's Maddie's dad? Where's Maddie's dad in the picture? We will talk about Maddie Soto's dad as well. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Put them in my Discord, message me. Like I said, this is just part 1. We have a lot more parts to go. So, March 5th, the state attorney's office requests an investigation into the leaked crime scene photos. March 6th, Kissimmee police continue their investigation, revealing Stearns had history of sexual abuse towards Maddie. Video evidence shows Stearns disposing of items in a dumpster, which was Maddie's backpack and laptop, and they ended up recovering it. Maddie's body was found in that wooded area, and they had a visual for her. I think I have Court TV. We'll watch a little bit of Court TV. Just a little bit of it.
On the docket tonight, the disappearance of Madeline Soto. She went missing in the Orlando area, just 13 years old. We really have some sad news tonight. Here's photos. Let me show you some photos of Madeline and her mom. There's her mom with her daughter, teenage daughter. The bond between mom and daughter is special. It's absolutely special. But a man has been arrested. Stephen Stearns, here he is. This is tough. The Orange County Sheriff's Office announced something on Twitter X. Let's take a look at what they have to say tonight. Madeline Soto's body has been found at about 4:30 today off of Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. The Sheriff's Office search teams located the body of Madeline Soto in a wooded area. Her family has been notified. There's no additional information to release, and Kissimmee PD is the lead agency in this homicide investigation. You hold on to the hope to the last moment, right? You're just hoping that maybe, she's locked up somewhere and you'll find her alive, but that's not the case here. Here's the Orange County Sheriff with more information tonight.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day. We have video evidence that shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephen Stearns returning to the complex and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time.
Okay, folks, first court appearance is happening tomorrow, Saturday, for Stephen Stearns. And now that Madeline's body has been found, things have gotten much, much more definitive, I believe, in this case. Let's bring back in our think tank, Bernardo Villalona, Brian Watkins, Ben Chu with us. Brian, it seems to me this is a case that's going to have
So let's do a little commentary, and then we're going to watch a video, and then we're going to wrap it up on part 1. So March 12, 2024, the state's attorney's office filed 60 charges against Stephen Stearns, including multiple counts of actual battery and possession of child porn. A pre-trial hearing is scheduled for April 24th, and the trial is set for May 13th. We will talk about that trial that was supposed to happen back in 2024. In our next live, we will be doing a live dedicated to Stephen Stearns and who Stephen Stearns was, his background, everything. We're going to dig deep into this case, as we are going to do a live as well on Jennifer Soto. Then we'll come back and touch on how the family reacted when they found out what happened to Maddie, how Maddie's dad reacted, Maddie's stepmom, Maddie's grandma, and close family, how they reacted. And we're going to talk about, where is Jennifer Soto? It's been a year later and nobody knows where Jennifer Soto is and why Jennifer Soto. Once I tell you a lot about Jennifer Soto, you're going to be thinking, why was Jennifer Soto not allegedly arrested as well? So let's look at this body cam footage, and then I'm going to tell you guys about your homework. I'm going to give you guys some homework to do tonight.
A bunch of new documents in the Madeline Soto case have now been released. Thank you for joining us. For West News at 10, I'm Summer Knowles.
I'm Jesse Paganis. West News' Haley Crumblehome explains they shed new light on the final hours before Madeline was killed, including the unusual sleeping arrangements shared by Madeline, her mother, and her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns.
I started panicking and freaking out because she should have been to school. She should have made it.
New documents released in Madeline Soto's disappearance and murder reveal more about the hours before she disappeared in February, with her mom Jennifer describing the night before she went missing to an Orange County detective. Jennifer Soto said because they have roommates, she, her boyfriend Stephen Stearns, and Madeline only use 2 bedrooms in the home. When the detective asks where Madeline slept that night,
In bedroom number 4.
Okay. And what about Stefan?
Bedroom number 4.
Okay. Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room?
Sometimes. When I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs.
the next morning, Jennifer Soto said she didn't see her daughter, and it wasn't until she came to pick her up after school that she found out she had never made it there. She called Madeline's best friend.
I don't see her anywhere. And she goes, no, she never came to school today. She didn't come to first or second period.
The police were ultimately called.
And do you need police, fire, or medical? Police, possibly. I'm reporting a missing child.
Stearns was the last to see her, saying he dropped her off a little ways away from the school.
I said, okay. Let her out. Have a good day. Love you. Thanks. Love you too. And I turned around and was driving away and was watching her in my rearview mirror to make sure that she was going where we're supposed to go.
Stearns would.
You see how he says all that? From what we discovered, what we talked about and everything, we know that's a lie. He never saw her get up and walk to school. We know that for a fact because Stephen Stearns unalived her that morning. He unalived her. Why he unalived her? To this day, we still don't know why he did it. He's been waiving his appearance in court a lot. He has been telling that he wants evidence thrown out, allegedly, from court. I don't think Stephen Stearns is ever going to tell the world why he did it. We're all in speculations of what made Stephen Stearns snap. Did Maddie Soto tell him, you know what, I'm 13, I'm going to go tell on you, I'm not doing the abuse no more, I can't do it? Did he snap? Was Maddie teenagers? You know, we start developing crushes. Did Maddie like a boy from school and Stephen Stearns didn't like it? It's many, many, many possibilities of what made Stephen Stearns snap and say, I'm going to, and many possibilities of why Stephen Stearns snapped and unalived Maddie that morning of February 26, 2024. Many speculations. Maybe one day we will get the truth of why he really did it. But justice for Madeline Soto is coming.
Would break down the rest of his morning, including stopping by a smoke shop. But with the times he gives detectives and when his car is seen, about an hour and 20 minutes is unaccounted for.
Even like the first time we talked to you, you're not telling us that you're like, just cruising the area, like you're coming home. So I need to be able to explain to my supervisors why there's such a time gap.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It was just a normal day. We didn't have anything important to do.
Stearns is currently being held in the Osceola County Jail on child sexual abuse charges, and in connection with Madeline's death. He is due back in court in October. Jesse and Summer.
So tonight, if you can, I do want you to look at this. We're going to look at this as we can. I kind of want to do like a Discord viewing party soon, because YouTube will copyright strike me if I play the whole 43 minutes. This is the Justice for Madeline Soto Part 1, The Search Begins. This was uploaded by News 6 in Orlando. This gives you a lot of details into the Maddie Soto case. It has a lot. It has so much. And I do want to show you guys this, all the parts of it. Like I said, I will get copyright strike if I show you guys it. But I do want to do like a Discord viewing if I can for you guys to see this. But that is part 1 of the Maddie Soto case. Just a little brief of what happened to Maddie. We do have a live scheduled on, I don't remember, let me check my phone. I have to go on YouTube and check. Okay, yes, we have a live on the 11th, which is June 11th is Wednesday. Okay, so we have a live this Wednesday regarding Stephen Stearns. So Wednesday, June 11th, 9:30 p.m., 9:30 Central Time p.m., we will be doing a live on Stephen Stearns. Thursday, the 12th, we will do a live on Jennifer Soto. Friday, we'll take a break. Saturday, the 14th, we'll do a live regarding how the family reacted when they found out what happened to Maddie. And then we'll go on from there and see what else we need to talk about regarding the Maddie Soto case. This is part 1. If you have any questions regarding part 1, you're more than welcome to leave a comment, send me an email, message me on Discord, whatever the case may be. If you do want to see the part 1 version of the search of Maddie and when they discovered her body, I suggest you go to YouTube and look at News 6 Orlando. They have the full outlook of it. Like I said, I do want to do a streaming session on Discord where we watch the whole thing together, talk about it, everything like that. If you haven't already joined my Discord, it's in my description bio. This is part 1 of the Madeline Soto case. Rest in peace, Maddie Soto. I'm so sorry that you endured this abuse from someone you thought you can trust, your mom's boyfriend. We're going to deep dive into Stephen Stearns on Wednesday. We're going to have a live. It's going to be probably a long live, so get ready with your questions, concerns, anything that you guys have. We are going to dig deep into Stephen Stearns. We're going to read so much affidavits. I have a lot of information for you guys. And then we're going to dig deep into Jennifer Soto, and we're going to talk about who Jennifer Soto was. So, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But this is Maddie Soto Part 1. This is a pre-recorded live. I want to thank all you guys who are going to be watching this on replay. And yeah, I will see you guys this Wednesday, the 10th. This Wednesday, the 11th. And we'll go live around, we'll try to do 8:30 Central Time, if not 9:30, the latest. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much. I love you all. Have a great rest of your Monday night and Tuesday night. We're not going to have a live tomorrow. But keep an eye out on Discord, because I'm going to be putting some information on Discord regarding the Maddie Soto case. But yeah, I love you all. Have a good rest of your Monday and a good Tuesday. And I will see you guys Wednesday for the Stephen Stearns live. Love you all. Love you all. Bye, guys.